We're back with another episode.
Welcome back to another episode of The Face Off with Fleming and Fowler. Don't forget to hit the download button and subscribe to our podcast where podcasts are available. All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of The Face Off with Fleming and Fowler. We are back at it again.
Back at it again.
Woohoo. How was your week, man?
Oh, boy.
Better than last week, I hope.
Friday was a day.
Friday? Oh, yeah.
It was a long day at work. I questioned a lot of things.
Yeah. A long day of unappreciation, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember that time I said no one knows what I do at the hospital?
Yeah.
It was a whole Friday of that.
You're just completely invisible, huh?
The disrespect. It's like doing, like going above and beyond, but not doing anything for anyone, you know?
Yeah. Well, I was not doing anything for anyone at all because I had a student.
We'll circle back to that. But it was fine.
That's cool.
What about you?
Mine was good. A big week of decisions every day. I literally almost quit my job.
I'm glad you're still here.
Oh my God. I'm barely hanging on by a thread. I was talking to one of our directors of one of the other units, one of the ICUs. And I just told her, I was like, I'm yet holding on to God's unchanging hand. I'm trying to build my hopes on things eternal. Hold to God's unchanging hand. Other than that, it was a pretty good week. Thank God I didn't have to work this weekend, so that was awesome. So, all right, so let's go ahead and get right on into it. First, we want to start off by a little on the sad note, unfortunately. On January the 28th, 2021, iconic actress Cicely Tyson died at the age of 96. And
that's a life. Can you imagine being 96?
Oh my God. And meanwhile, Betty White is just living her best life at like 150. It's insane.
Dude, insane.
Insane. But yeah, so the world is definitely mourning the loss of this titan and the loss of this pillar in our community at large. I mean, she was an absolutely amazing actress. I mean, from movies like The Help and Sounder, the autobiography of Miss Jane Pittman, The Women on Brewster Place, King, where she played Coretta Scott King. She also played in a movie called A Woman Called Moses. She played in the Rosa Parks Story, Hoodlum, Medea's Family Reunion, How to Get Away with Murder, which I loved her and Viola Davis's relationship, that mother-daughter relationship that they had on that show. So you had a slew of celebrities that that posted about how her death has definitely affected them and how her legacy will live on through them and through the arts and through her movies and different lives that she has touched. So rest in heaven, Queen Mother Cicely Tyson. So yeah.
How many celebrity deaths is that?
Her what was the other name? Lady Cloris. Oh my, what was Cloris's last name? She also died at 95. I can't remember her last name. I know her first name is Cloris. She died, and then there was a gospel singer, Duranis Pace. She died as well. I don't know anybody else.
Sidney Poitier is 93.
Yes, and don't try to kill him.
I'm not. I was just thinking, God, how old is he?
Yeah, I was gonna say he's probably about as old as Cicely Tyson.
Yeah, that's insane.
I wonder how old James Earl Jones is, because him and Cicely came up around the same time in the entertainment industry.
90.
90, really? Mm-hmm. Thought he was older than that.
He looks good.
He does. Have you ever seen the pictures of him when he was a young guy? He was a hot piece of bread. Okay.
He just looks like those patients that you come in and they're so happy and they're nice, but they're old as shit.
And they move very well. And you're like, what's your secret to life? And they're like, just laugh and love.
And they're always like, I listen to my wife every time.
Love your kids, love everybody. But the real thing, the basis of it all is love. You're like, oh, well, I hate everything and everybody right now. So yeah. I'm going to get there one day.
I guess I'll die young then.
Right. So also some other things that's been happening in the news.
Wow.
See? You see how cute, man.
A young J.E.J.
Sexy. He was sexy.
He looks like Michael Ealy.
Yes. Without the like weird eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he has beautiful green eyes, Michael Ealy does, but he always looks like he's about to murder somebody. I think because he plays murdering type of things. Anyway, so this week, interestingly enough, was anybody who follows the stock market, who invests in the stock market
or watches TikTok.
It's been going all over the news this week. It has been some crazy stuff going on with the stock market. So for those that don't follow the stock market, there is a website called, or an app called Reddit, which is actually the app that Serena Williams' husband created. What's his name again?
Alexis
Ohanian.
Yeah.
He's one of the creators of Reddit. He sold his shares to it, whatever. Anywho, so this is basically a networking.
That is a smart man.
Very smart man. It's a networking app where people can come on and share different information, forums and all that kind of stuff. About anything dealing with health, tech, blah blah blah. So basically, a couple guys that are on Reddit, they found some type of, I guess not necessarily a loophole, but they found a way to basically stick it to these hedge fund owners.
Yeah.
The same way they do.
Spoiler alert, we did not make any money.
Yeah, no. Well, here's the thing. So,
did you make like 27 cents off
I did not make anything because Robinhood, which is a known app that people can use for investing, trading, buying stocks, and it's totally free. So they basically were losing so much money this week because these guys basically started telling people, you all need to buy up GameStop stock, AMC stock, Blockbuster stock. You need to buy all these different types of stock or whatever, because these hedge fund owners, they're going to lose a shit ton of money. So everybody started buying these stocks.
The hedge funds were shorting the stock.
They were shorting the stock, which basically means that they were pretty much almost like a plane oversells tickets. So it really wasn't real how much the stocks that they had. So when people started buying that shit and started selling it, they had no choice but to give them the money and pay it out, which means that these hedge fund owners were losing billions of dollars. I think they lost like $4 billion in a day. And then one of the billionaires came online on air and started crying and was like, I think this is just attack on the wealthy. And it was like, I'm sorry, what?
They do the same thing.
That's literally how they got their billions. And so these guys on Reddit were like, buy up all this stock. So I think GameStop at that point was like $11 per share. So people were buying the crap out of it, buying a bunch of AMC. But then Robinhood, who I think 40% of Robinhood's app, and the creator of Robinhood, 60% of his app 40% of his app is owned by a company called Citadel, which is basically a part of the hedge fund, one of the hedge fund owners as well. So what they did was they blocked people from being able to buy shares of AMC and GameStop.
Sounds illegal to me.
Exactly. And so, you had other apps like I think Webull that also blocked some people, like some of the bigger names like Fidelity. They didn't block anybody from doing stuff. But Robinhood got into this huge breach where they literally blocked a lot of Americans from being able to buy into this, to be able to, really shorten the wealth gap, so to speak. And so they did it for 24 hours because I tried to go on there and buy some and I couldn't buy shit. And then GameStop went from being like $11 a share to then like $318 per share. Then the next day, after someone filed a lawsuit against them for blocking them to be able to trade and buy the stock, they decided to send out a notice that says, oh, well, the stock market right now is so volatile and blah, blah, blah. And, we're only going to limit your shares. So you can buy it now, but we're going to limit your shares out. So I think they only allowed you to buy like 10 shares of GameStop and then like 5 shares of AMC. Well, I tried to buy at least max out on the shares of AMC, and I could only do one. So I don't know if they changed it again. So of course, what my student is, anyway, I'm not even going to purchase
When I tell you, my ass was struggling in a room with a very heavy patient, not even heavy in weight, just heavy in lack of any kind of muscle activation. I was like, where the fuck is this bitch? The phone, just facing the phone, and I know she's looking at stocks, and I was like, I swear to God, she better be a fucking millionaire.
Well, here's the thing, I'm trying to win it. I'm trying to get us some money so I can pay off all of our loans. So I come out
pissed off, and she's like, I'm trying to make us some money, and I was like, make my job easier today, now.
Here's the thing though, my student was in the room with her Okay, so I was delegating and I was still looking at them.
He is a fresh student, ma'am.
It's okay. He's learning. He's almost this is his midterm week now.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I know his clinical is going by super fast. I gotta get out before he gets out. Anyway, so
it's a race to the finish.
It's a race to the finish, the amazing race. But anyway, so yeah, it's been going crazy, the stock market. So there's a lot of different investigations that are going on into Robinhood. A lot of people are pulling their stuff out of Robinhood, the app, and trying to move over to other different, brokerage firms and stuff like that. I don't know enough about stocks to move my stuff just yet, because I'm like, I only invested took $50. I was like, okay, let me do this, because I was like, I'm only gonna do this amount of money and call it a day, because I had just paid my mortgage too. So I was like, So I don't like to risk it all, but I did buy some of the other cryptocurrency, like Dogecoin was doing pretty well and stuff like that.
You need to watch Black Monday.
Black Monday.
Yeah, that's the one about the stock market in the 80s.
Oh, really?
Yeah, with Don Cheadle and Regina Hall.
Oh, I do need to watch that. What is
Black Monday? It's on Showtime, but it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was crazy. I mean, people were going insane. I was definitely watching my little $50, so I was like, if I lose something, it's not gonna be that bad, but whatever. So, also too in the news this week, President Joe Biden has overturned Trump's transgender military ban, allowing Americans to serve in the military regardless of gender identity. Here's my thing. Why did he ban it in the first place? What was the big deal about transgenders in the military? Was it the medications? Do we know?
These are good questions. I was going to allude to Caitlyn Jenner, but I don't think that's appropriate.
Nah.
Don't ask, don't tell not strong enough? They just really had to.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm like, why were you banning transgender people into the military? I just don't get it.
Did they make it a safety thing? Women don't feel safe if men are in their barracks, even though they identify as women.
That's the thing.
But they're men. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know. And then even too, I know when I worked at a government hospital, I know that a lot of not a lot, but some of the transgender military service men and women that would come in for their hormones. So the VA would pay for them and the military would pay for them to go through the transition, but they just would not pay for the reassignment surgery. So sometimes they had to get a second insurance or something like that in order to pay for the actual reassignment. But the military, and this is per them, not this is not a rule that I made or, that I looked up. This is just from patients that I have worked with, that they have been on different hormones. And again, the military would pay for their hormones, but they would not pay for the gender reassignment surgery.
Huh.
Yeah. Which I thought was very interesting.
It literally is just one day he tweeted, because you can tweet fucking presidential shit.
Yeah.
After consultation with my generals and military experts, please be advised that the U.S. government will not accept or allow transgender individuals to serve in any capacity in the U.S. military. Yeah,
but he actually made it he signed an executive order on it.
But why?
Exactly. Did he just hate transgender people? I mean.
Oh, okay. The official record says our military must be focused on decisive and overwhelming victory and cannot be burdened with the tremendous medical cost and disruption that transgender in the military would entail. Thank you. I feel like he's projecting that.
I mean, I can understand that to a degree, because if you're trying to transition active duty and you can't go to fight a war, and I'm using air quotes when I say that, you're going over to quote unquote fight a war, and you're like, well, my doctor says that I can't do all this strenuous activity or whatever. I don't know what it entails as far as the hormones and how they work and all that kind of stuff. But I can see how you can say that, but not necessarily ban you from coming into the military. I think that's a bit extreme, but I get how you say that there is a burden on the military healthcare system for that, because it is expensive.
Maybe they meant transitioned but transitioning. I don't know. Maybe people were joining the military to get medical benefits to then transition. Gotcha. Maybe that was an issue.
Yeah.
I don't know. That. I feel like it's never easy.
No.
And I'm sure there wasn't one transgender person that pissed off someone enough for them to be like, hey, we got to kick them all out.
Because how many people are trying to transition?
There were 6,300 people active at that time that they thought were either gay.
Are you serious?
Were gay, trans, or...
But were transitioning?
No.
Oh, I was like, good God Almighty.
But also the military is huge.
The
But I
military is
can
very
see if
big.
people were getting into the military and then saying
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I'm transitioning. I have this medical coverage, and I'm going to be on all these hormones, and I have to have," you know what I mean?
But here's the thing, though. I think that that's fair, and I'm gonna tell you why. People get into the military, like we said on the last episode, not necessarily to fight for this country.
Who wants to fight for their
It's
country?
benefits. You get in it for benefits. I want a Camaro. I want to go to school, get my GI Bill. I want to have a pension. So I'm sacrificing my life, you know, at some point in time to be able to have these luxuries. Even though our military service men and women are paid shit when they are, you know, coming up. We already know
Camaro
that.
is also a lot cheaper than transitioning.
It depends on what kind of Camaro you get. If you get an SS,
Okay, you're right. I take
I'm
back
just
everything I said. But I can see more from that. I can see from a, like, if you're a woman in the military and you have a at birth male in
Yeah.
your barracks,
right?
but identifies as a woman, how that could make some people uncomfortable.
Yeah. Well, even in the prison system, it's like that, where you have males, you know, transgender men and women who come into the prison system, and it's like, where do you put them? Like, you can't
Yeah.
put them in a whole dorm by themselves
Yeah.
because there's not a whole, you know, ton of them. So it's like, do you put what they identify as? Do you put them in there, or do you put them in the other places? Because I know I used to work in a prison, and I only worked there for a year. I didn't really see, not that I saw any transgender people, but that would be very risky if you were to put a transgender male who was or woman, a transgender woman who was born male, who is now female.
safety issue.
It's a safety issue. And I mean, you gonna be, listen, them men, they get rough in prison. Okay.
Yeah.
And then on the other side, because some transgender may like both. Okay. They can be bisexual. And then you got
Because
pregnant
if
women
you're
in the military. I
if
mean,
you're
in the prisons.
transgender, and it just means that you do not identify personally as the gender that you were assigned at birth, right?
Yeah.
So it has nothing to do with sexual preference.
No.
Right,
But that's
so-
still very controversial just because of.
No, so I'm saying, like, yeah, you're right. You could you could be a man who feels like they should be more presenting as a woman, but you're still attracted to women.
Right. But then it depends on, like, when you talk about prison, what do your body parts look like? So we have to put you with a group where your body parts are looking like the other body parts.
Exactly. No, yeah, exactly. I just feel like there's this big sense that if you're in a male prison
Yeah.
and you are a transgender woman in the male prison, that you like men.
Right.
So, like, why wouldn't you be happy in this prison full
Exactly.
of fucking murderers?
Yeah.
You love men, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But then it'll be, oh God, the safety. Oh Jesus.
That's what I'm saying. And I think that as much as I would like to be like, this is a huge issue, everyone has to work on it. Like, how long has the fucking prison system been around? And how long have we been accepting people who are transgender
Yeah.
in mass society?
Yeah.
Like, there's no way anything can transition that fast. No one knows what the fuck to do.
Right. I mean, I think if you wanted to ban, like you said, people abusing going into the military just for that purpose, you know, because there are even people who will do petty things, who have, you know, cancer or AIDS, and they will literally commit these little small misdemeanors to get them in prison so they can get their AIDS medication if they can't afford it, or their cancer meds, because the government has to pay for that. So, you know, if you want to talk about banning transgender for that purpose only, to not abuse the medical system, I understand, but that's still very tricky, because when you say I'm putting a ban on all transgender, you're putting a whole ban on everything. You know what I mean?
It to me feels like there was a spreadsheet, a spending
Yeah.
spreadsheet. And he was like, where can we cut? And they were like, well, there's a bunch of people trying to transition in the military. It's costing us a
Right.
pretty fucking penny.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, easy. Take
Easy,
it out.
cut
Kick
it
'em
out. We're against it. And I think too, it doesn't help with the fact that he ran his campaign on being against the LGBTQ plus community as well. So it's like, yeah. So yeah, Joe Biden actually signed an executive order to overturn Trump's transgender ban. Also, too, in the news recently, the Seattle Seahawks player Chad Wheeler was arrested and charged with a felony assault crime, domestic violence rather. He pretty much beat the shit out of his girlfriend. And
Ooh, he looks it.
yeah, and so basically what
He
happened,
got a thick neck. That's what tells me that.
he's probably on steroids too, allegedly. So basically what happened is, this is from his girlfriend. Allegedly, they were at the house. He wanted her to bow down to him, and she would
Literally?
literally bow down. So she would not. He beat the shit out of her, and he knocked her unconscious. And so she said when she woke up, he was sitting on I think either the bed or the couch. He was sitting somewhere eating his food and looked over at her and said, and I quote from the girlfriend, "Oh, you're still alive?"
That's not CTE. That's the devil.
Yeah, you are a piece of shit. And so at first they suspended him when it first came out, but then the Seattle Seahawks actually did end up releasing him. And of course, he released this pitiful ass apology. Oh, I'm so sorry. And
there is nothing you can ever say to me to apologize for the fact that you thought I was dead and was sitting there. Even if it was a joke, it's a fucked up joke.
And if you see the picture of her face, I'm just like, first of all, too, she's an African American woman. He's a white guy. And you're saying bow down to me. That's already like race is already going to be in there.
Sir.
It'd have been totally different if you didn't say that shit to her. But the fact that you told her to bow down, it's like, oh, racist.
If she was white, we'd be having an entirely different story.
Exactly. But I think one of the biggest controversies is that this story has not been getting a lot of media play, especially the way that if you look at Michael Vick and stuff that he went through, Adrian Peterson for disciplining his child, all of these different stories that come out with these black athletes, they keep running it on CNN all day long. Nobody even knows about Chad Wheeler.
Yeah, I didn't.
Like, except for if you go on, Baller Alert or Shade Room or something.
Baller Alert, they're just like, watch out for this one.
Exactly. So, yeah, brother, I hope you get the help you need because you crazy. You straight crazy.
Dude, what is it with these?
Yeah, and it says he is now a free agent and no longer with the team. Oh, you're going to be a free agent, all right.
For a while.
But see, the sad part is he's white, so they'll probably take him back in a year when everybody forget about it.
Yeah, I'm just, come on, dude.
We're in a pandemic. Like,
you can't beat the shit out of people anymore.
Take that aggression out on the field, though. Like, I mean, I know this is the off season. No, we're about to go into. This is about to be the Super Bowl. I know you're not in the Super Bowl, but I'm just saying.
He's 6'7", dude.
Yes,
that's scary.
He's like 300 something pounds.
Fuck, dog. That's
and you beat the shit out of that girl.
For me, I would have walked my happy ass straight to the police.
Now, here's the thing. I do personally, this is my personal opinion. I may not get a lot of, amens for this. However, I do personally believe that if a woman hits a man, he has every right to knock her whole head off of her neck.
Okay.
If she hits him first.
I don't know about all that.
I'm just saying, men have the right to defend themselves against women. We as women, we love to play this game.
If your girlfriend's half your fucking size and a third of your weight,
you shouldn't be talking shit then.
Hitting you is the same as you fucking clocking her in the face.
Yes, it is.
No way.
You should not. You personally, and you knowing that you are half this man's size, you should not be talking to him crazy. I'm not saying that that's what happened in this situation because I really don't know. That's all I know is that she said that he wanted her to bow down, which that's not appropriate. He shouldn't have beat the shit out of her. What I'm saying is that on another flip side, if you because you know how females do when they be hit me, I bet you won't hit me, I call the police, and they get all up in the man's face and be mushing him in his face and all, and you're provoking that person. That person has the right to defend themselves, and you knowing that this man is, number one, scientifically stronger than you and they're bigger than you wouldn't go up to a female and do that. So why would you do that to a man?
Oh, man. Is he just crying bipolar or does he actually have bipolar disorder?
He needs, I don't know, by his neck, he on steroids.
He is a large man with a thick ass neck and some long ass hair.
He got a WWE neck. Okay, to be playing football.
You remember that meme that was going around of that guy with the fucking thumbkin ass thick neck? He's got that one. Dude, that's insane.
Yes. And but the fact that you knocked her unconscious.
Yeah, if he was black, he'd be fucking poster child.
He'd be in jail. There would be no bail for him, no bond money, no nothing. He would be in jail.
He is an entire
He's huge.
Foot taller than her.
He's huge.
She's 5'9", 145.
He is huge.
He's 6'7", 310.
Yes.
Fuck. He could have literally just picked her up by the fucking shirt with her legs running like a little pup and fucking placed her in timeout.
I'm surprised he didn't break her jaw. Honestly.
Yeah, I'm surprised she's alive too if he fucking hit her that hard.
And the fact that he said it like, oh, you're alive. What? That's like some Criminal Mind shit. Come on now.
Maybe he was pleasantly excited. He was like, he was eating. Maybe he was sitting. People do crazy things when they murder someone. Maybe he truly thought that he killed her. I watch a lot of true crime.
Oh, okay. I was like, you talking from experience?
Maybe he truly thought he killed her. He started freaking out. He's like, I got to eat because I got practice. So if I'm going to move this body and I'm going to cover this shit up, I've got to get a meal in. So when she woke up, he was pleasantly surprised. You're alive?
I hate you.
I would like to give someone the benefit.
I hate you. But you know what's sad though? As an outsider looking in, I don't think that was his first time hitting her. because I feel like most domestic violence situations, they give you signs.
Yeah.
They absolutely give you signs, whether it's yelling at you, getting up in your face, pushing you, stuff like that. Like even if it's not pushing you hard, but kind of shoving you and doing certain things like that, there are red flags. And not unless this man had never shown that before and just literally went off the handle, like that's a problem.
Yeah.
Like you need to get some serious help, regardless if it was, planned or not, premeditated or not. That was like, if you see her nose, I was just like, God damn.
Oh shit.
Her whole face was swollen.
You know what she's gonna get after this? Some good plastic surgery with his money.
Pretty much.
I would too. Take him for all he's worth.
I would sue the Seattle Seahawks too.
I would
Sue
be
everybody.
like, you knew what was going on.
Yeah. You put me in this position.
You gave him the steroids that made him this fucking
Yep.
big, and that's the reason my jaw broke.
Absolutely. I sure would. I'd be like Ezel on Friday, my neck and my back.
Damn.
Absolutely.
Well, hope she's doing good, girl. Ice that shit.
I know. I hope he didn't. Well, I don't know if he broke her nose or anything, but good God. Yeah. So good. Sending good
Wow.
vibes to her.
Court documents allege that he strangled, suffocated, and beat her into unconsciousness twice, both times leaving her for dead as blood poured from her nose and mouth into her stomach and lungs.
Wait, for this one particular incident or before? Like this is like the second time or third time it's happened.
I think it was with this.
This particular incident,
Uh-huh.
He was trying to kill you. Good God Almighty.
Though he was genuinely surprised then because he
Yeah.
was trying to murder your
He
ass.
was like,
What did you
"Damn,
do?
he's strong."
Not that you had to do anything or say anything. Did he just pop off?
He wanted her to bow.
Oh, that's right. You did say that.
Yeah.
Well, shit, she should have bowed. I'm kidding.
No, ma'am. You should have ran. As soon as he
But
said
I'm
that.
just thinking if someone had told me that, I would have popped off too. Like, what the fuck? Who do you think you are telling me to bow to you?
See,
I would have gone off.
this is why I own guns. That's all I'm saying. Pop a cap right in your ass.
Pop, pop.
I will. First of all,
There's his
I
career.
wouldn't try to kill you, but I'm definitely blowing out both of your kneecaps. Just like
That's your house, man.
just
You're
like
living
Jamie
in his
Foxx,
house.
when Jamie Foxx blew out Samuel L. Jackson knees and Django. That's exactly what I would have did. Bow bow.
Oh.
So yeah. So on to a sadder but better note than that. Godiva Chocolates to close all of their U.S. chocolate shops due to the pandemic.
Do people actually? I won't even say that. My nana buys coffee from there. That's
Yeah.
the only person I know that goes there.
I don't eat Godiva chocolates like that. I'm a very I don't even know if they sell white chocolate because white chocolate's not real. So I'm a white chocolate girl.
All everyone does there is go to get the free piece of chocolate.
Pretty much. That's probably why they're closing.
And then there's someone always making the strawberries. Who even fucking eats that?
Yeah, you can make them yourself too. But yeah,
We don't need Godiva shops. We just need Godiva online.
right, Amazon. But apparently the company will sell or close all 128 stores in North America.
Wait, does that mean their shit's gonna be on clearance? I would fuck with some cheap chocolate.
Probably. Godiva stated that it saw a decrease in in-person shopping amid the pandemic.
You and everybody else.
Exactly. So though people may not be showing up to the brick and mortar stores, on their online sales have actually increased, as well as sales through like grocery and club owners, like grocery stores and Sam's Club, Costco, and all that kind of stuff.
It's like Target. They're doing all the small format stores now.
Target's doing that?
They're doing stores that are 12 to something thousand feet instead of like 60,000 feet. Yeah.
So what is it going to be like a Walmart grocery store only? Because they have those little neighborhood markets at Walmart. Is
I
it
did
gonna
not
be
know
like
that, but yeah, I think that's what this is.
Oh,
It's going
that's
to be
cool.
small. It's going to have like drive up delivery and all of that stuff. And it's just like if you just need to run into Target to get something, I don't
Yeah.
think you're going to have like all the TVs. Just the
Yeah.
selection's going to be decreased.
Yeah. Well, that's
But I'm
actually,
down with that. I need to streamline.
that's actually better because honestly, every time you go into Target, you never get where you're supposed to get.
And you spend $150.
Yes.
Why? On what?
And then you go in there, you're like, all I went in there was for some chapstick. Why do I come out with a TV?
Fucking time, like, do I need socks? And I'm gonna want wine when I get home. And then while
Yes.
I'm here, I might as well get the.
I hate Target. Oh, just for that very reason. Because especially that dollar spot, man, I be getting everything from the dollar spot. So when is Target supposed to be doing this? And are there any other stores that
I
are doing
think they've
that?
been rolling them out slowly, but then after the pandemic, they were like, we're just gonna do this shit for real.
Well, I know they do the same thing with Amazon. Amazon has grocery stores in like select cities where you just put all your stuff in the cart and it like you scan it as you're putting it. There's like 4 different scanners in the shopping
love
cart.
that.
Yeah, I would love to. Well, I would actually just like curbside because I did curbside this morning and I just went, picked up my stuff. I went to CVS, to the pharmacy, picked up my stuff. And I went and got a car wash and never had to get out of the car. So I literally didn't even have to put on a bra all day. I mean, I put it on obviously because I'm going out of the house, but
We didn't have to.
I did.
You're gonna be like those people from Wall-E. Have you seen Wall-E?
No.
You haven't seen Wall-E?
Is that the little computer
Robot.
robot? Oops.
Yeah, but basically the Earth gets turned to shit. It's covered in garbage, so
Yeah.
they have to go inhabit space. They like put everybody in this big spaceship and they're like, we're going to stay up here until the earth is inhabitable again. And everyone's huge. No one walks. No one does anything. They sit in these chairs and roll around.
That sounds like America.
It literally, it's for a kids movie. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So they're all in space, but and it like, they don't remember the earth of before.
Oh, okay.
So then they like are trying to remember it's very interesting. But yeah, it's gonna be us just fucking rolling around.
Yeah, but you know what?
We're gonna be 6'7", 310 pounds.
Hopefully not knocking anybody's head off. But I mean, it's the convenience. Like we in this generation now, we are. I mean, even the beginning of fast food restaurants. Like if you can think back to when McDonald's started, you used to have to wait, a minute for your hamburger to be done. And then now you come and you literally drive through a window. They toss it to you. You toss them your money and that's the end of it.
Mobile order is my best friend.
Oh my God. Let me tell you something.
The fact that I can walk into a Starbucks and my shit's sitting there and I walk the fuck out.
Same thing with Chipotle. Well, for me, there's this Chipotle that's 15 minutes from my house that actually has a drive-through window, and you just order from your app and then you get your stuff and then you leave. That's all I hear in this thing is farting. What were you reaching for? I knew you weren't gonna stay still.
My slider. Okay.
So Alyssa tried to get her drink on this exercise ball. So yeah, there's this Chipotle that's 15 minutes from my house, and they have a drive-through window. Now, there's another Chipotle that's 5 minutes from my house, but they don't have a drive-through window. I literally only order from the 15-minute one away from my house for the convenience, because there's sometimes I don't want to put a bra back on and I go to the drive-through.
Dude, honestly, truly, if I could open up one restaurant right now, it would be like good quality food, like healthy things that are, but that
get
are
your grease
still
as well.
Good, but you can get your grease if you want to,
Yeah.
but it's a drive-through. I don't have
Drive-thrus
to
are
get out of my
the
car. It's super quick, but it's food that doesn't taste like shit and
Yeah.
is pretty okay for you. It's not
Right.
horrible. It's not fast food. It's not all fried, but it is fast. Even
Yeah.
mobile order drive, like something. I feel like there's not enough of that here in this fucking
Yeah, it's just we're in
diabetic city.
We're in the age of convenience. I mean, with everything being so fast. I mean, think about it.
Yeah, that's why I hate going
The
to Europe.
internet. The internet was created, and you were able to send before you were even able to send an email. You could send a fax. Because it was easier than typing it up, putting it in an envelope, mailing it out, and waiting 2 to 3 days for it to get to you. Then you have these emails where I don't have to fax anything. Who faxes anymore?
When I don't know what I was doing. It must have been for grad school or something. But every time they said fax, I was like, do you know that that's not a thing? People scan it. I will scan it to you.
Yeah,
I
scan
cannot
it and
fucking
send
fax
it.
you anything.
Yeah, what's your fax number? I
Do
remember
people have dial up? Like, don't I need
Right.
dial up for a fax?
even at our job, they're like, hey, can you fax me over my schedule? I'm sorry, what?
No, I can't.
I can take a
don't know how
picture
the
with my
fuck to use
iMobile
that.
and send it
I
to
can
you.
I can. There are 80 things I can do, and they're all not faxing that. I
Faxing
could
is
send a
not
carrier
one.
pigeon faster than I could figure out the fucking fax machine.
I'll send you a Dove.
I
but-
could literally type out individually every patient you have before I figure out this fax.
and you can go type in and print out your own schedule.
Exactly.
Fax? How do I dial 9 or 1 first? What do I do? What's a fax
my
number?
God.
I mean, we used to fax back in the day, obviously, but that's a thing of the past. You don't do it. You like you said, you scan it and you email it, and that's it.
Yeah.
Electronically sign it, PDF it, and call it a day. Yeah. So I mean, we live in the land of convenience, and yeah, I think a lot of things are going to turn like that in the next few years, where Amazon
have
has
to.
set this precedence where now you can get things faster. And, it used to be, order with Amazon, you get it in a couple days. Now they're like, we guarantee you
Tomorrow.
will get it the next day or 2 days from now. Even
if it's
two.
not, you know how they do if you order within the next 16 minutes, it'll be here tonight.
Yeah, and then even they have a 2-hour delivery. When I used to live in another area of town here, we were one of the first ones to get like the 2-hour delivery. There were certain, and it was a separate app. I could order something and get it within 2 hours.
That's insane.
Like I'm never leaving my house.
But here's the thing. If you want me to work 40 hours a week and be a functioning person
Yeah.
and have a social life and not live at home, you know what I mean? Like, we live in one part of town, you work in another part of town,
Yeah.
there's traffic, then something's got to give, and it's
Yeah.
fucking
Grocery
Amazon.
shopping.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
convenience.
Absolutely. Because I definitely was like, and also too, it helps you to budget when you can only order what you need from your house, and you are not distracted by going to the candy aisle and buying all of this stuff and shopping because you're hungry. So it helps me to budget.
Or browsing. I'm a browser.
Yeah. You go and buy, you're like,
It's
these
always
new
the
chips.
seasonal section at Target, like whatever holiday it
Yes.
is. I love that shit.
That's why you just order from your app. You can't pick up anything that you don't need, and because you won't see it. So then
See,
it
that doesn't
just
work for me because ordering means you need a plan. Like, you have to know.
Yeah, you just go on your.
I don't ever. So I'm like, I don't know.
Well, when you live by yourself, it's easier.
One day. Anyway, yeah.
Because then when you run out of eggs, you're like, God damn it, I need more eggs.
Dude. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did you see? So you know how HEB does curbside?
Yeah,
And
I love
usually
curbside.
there's no slots open, so you have to do it for like the next day or 2 days later.
Yeah.
Well, now if you pay $5 extra, they're like, oh, we've opened all these slots for you.
Yep, that's what I did today. But actually, they were just already open. But then, you have to pay $5 for like your personal shopper. So maybe that's in there too. Yeah. Because I ordered my stuff at like 9:00 last night and they were like, hey, yeah, you can pick it up as early as 6:30. I was like, I'm not getting up that early, but okay.
Yeah. This pandemic has really changed the game for a lot of people.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I think people just realize like we don't need to be doing all this shit. Like
No.
there's so many time saving things.
Yeah, we don't need to leave our house. We don't need to put on bras.
Yeah, if I was a stay-at-home, I won't even say mom. If I was just a stay-at-home person without a fucking job, I would
Yeah.
love to go do my own grocery shopping.
Yeah, because you have the time to do it.
Yeah, but if I work all day, I'm fucking annoyed. I'm gonna stop on my way home. I'm not trying to spend all this time in the grocery store.
That is the worst. Let me tell you, my that was my biggest pet peeve. When my dad was alive, he used to do that crap all the time. We would come home from college or wherever we lived, even after we graduated from college, and we would be out in the, go to the mall, go anywhere. On our way back, it's like this man had a tracker on the car or something. He knew exactly when we were halfway home, and then he would call one of us and be like, y'all passed by a sandwich shop on the way home. Brother, we passed by 37 McDonald's, 27 Burger Kings, and 12 Taco Bells.
And now you gotta stop.
And he's like, can you stop at Wendy's and get me a bowl of chili and a Baconator? No.
Didn't they find a thumb in the Chili's or the
They
Wendy's
did
chili?
a lot of that, yeah. It was a finger. Somebody had to chop it
A
off.
finger.
Yeah. But yeah, it was just like, that annoys me. Do not ask me to stop. If I call you and say, hey, I'm on my way home. Do you need to stop anywhere? Blah, blah, blah. Then I'm giving you the option like, hey, I don't mind stopping. Do not call me and say, hey, can you stop by and pick me up a number 1 with a Diet Coke? No, I'm not stopping.
I'm going straight home.
I'm going straight home. Like, I don't care if it's literally on the way. It is out of my way and I'm going straight. I'm not making no turns.
My way.
Thank
or
you.
The highway.
I'm not making no turns. So also too, the last thing before we go into the rehab corner, in the news today, or not necessarily-
nudes?
not in the nudes, news, NEWS, High School Musical star Monique Coleman.
High School Musical. Who says we have to? No.
No,
Okay.
I've never watched High School Musical, so I don't even know.
I'm sorry. What?
Never seen it.
Put it on right now. We can't even finish this fucking podcast. Do you know that was my life? When did those come out? They must have come
Jesus.
out when I was in middle school because it was like, okay, mind you,
You are so excited about.
I went
High
to
School
school with the
Musical.
same 20 people for like,
Yeah.
however many
Ever.
years. Yeah. And it was like you'd all talk about the new High School Musical coming out. You talk
Yeah.
about it all week. And then on Fridays, it's like the first week that the movie airs, it just plays. But then the next week, it was like,
never a show, right?
no, it is now.
Okay, but it was just the movies.
It
back
was
in
just
the,
the
day.
movies, but
Okay.
they would have dance alongs. And so like in the
Oh.
commercial breaks, they teach you the dance, like the dance moves,
Yeah.
and then you would do it during the movie. And so you'd have all your girlfriends come over and you would order pizza and shit and you guys would all learn the dances. And
I
then
was
do it
probably in
during the movie.
college when this came out, so I was not doing all
It
that.
was good shit.
Yeah. Well, anyway,
It's literally Grease. They literally just remade Grease. But
Oh, interesting. Well, that's cool. So yeah, the star of the show, one of the stars of High School Musical, Monique Coleman, says that her character wore headbands because the crew didn't know how to style black hair.
that sounds right.
Yeah.
When this must have come out in like 2007.
Well, okay, here's the thing though. Beyonce been wearing lace fronts. Mary J. Blige been wearing lace fronts. Hell, Brandy wore lace fronts, like wigs, like braided wigs. Monica been wearing lace fronts for forever. You mean to tell me that in that particular time, nobody knew how to do a lace front and lay this girl's hair down?
The only black girl on Disney other than her was probably Raven.
Raven had her hair laid,
I know, but Raven had been famous before.
so that don't mean that this girl
I feel
don't
like
deserve
Raven.
fucking headbands?
No, I feel like Raven came in being like, "I'm not dealing with this bullshit. This is what we're gonna do." You know what I mean?
Very
I don't
true,
think
but
that
that's
Disney
sad.
had. I know. I think it's fucked up, but I don't think Disney had people in place to deal with anything other than
diversity
like
and
white
inclusion.
hair.
Disney. Diversity and inclusion. That's sad because I mean I just remember seeing the characters of High School Musical and I really thought that was just her character's staple.
It made
like,
sense.
oh, she just wears headbands.
They
all
played
the
it
time.
off very well.
Yeah, because even when we were talking about what's her name, Amber Riley she's the black girl on
Glee.
and her hair was always laid. I mean, she may
Yeah.
have like a synthetic ponytail, but the edges were laid.
I think she was just a secondary character, and they were like, "Yeah, we gotta just deal with what the fuck we have."
That's horrible.
It is fucked up.
I mean,
but look, no one's gonna know. You didn't even know. No one knew the difference.
Well, I mean, we saw the synthetic wig that it was ugly.
Yeah, I mean, we
but-
definitely saw that. Truly.
I mean, dang, y'all couldn't just get some gel, get some jam or something, some Ampro style gel.
It also is like I feel like, I don't know, I'm not in the celebrity space. I'm not
Yeah.
an entertainer, but I feel like definitely within the last 5 years, there's been a big push for diversity, inclusivity.
Yeah.
All the Fenty shit, all the makeup brands that are getting fucking flamed if they don't have 97 shades
That's
when they
very
come
true.
out. All, you know what I mean? And like there's more color on TV.
Yeah.
So like you are now more than before expected to know how the fuck to deal with hair
Yeah.
that doesn't look like your hair.
Right.
And skin that's not your same skin color. And that wasn't there before.
I mean, even in like cosmetology schools, though, like, you know, people of color are forced to work on Caucasian hair, but is it the same where Caucasians are required to work on people of color? Because I mean, when I went to get a Dominican blowout like years ago, and I was just like, y'all need to be in jail because this hurts. Like, you're not going to be pulling my hair like that, because they're used to dealing with a particular grade of hair where it's thick, yes, and curly, but not Africa. Okay. And so, you know, it's just like, dang, it even sucks too. Like makeup companies, you know, you had, I think what, Queen Latifah, was she one of the first like black cover girls, or was it Tyra? No.
Queen Latifah sounds right to me for
I
some
think
reason.
Queen Latifah was the first one. Make sure I'm right and not just giving out false facts. But I know like Janelle Monáe came after her. Wasn't Beyonce a Revlon girl? I don't think she was ever cover girl. I think she did Revlon. I want to say
Beyonce's Revlon. That's
Yeah, she did Revlon. But I think Queen Latifah was the first African American to have her own like line of makeup.
I remember that.
For
That was
CoverGirl.
like when I was in eighth. That was like
That was
the
a
2000s.
huge deal. That was a big deal. And they still didn't even have enough shades.
Yeah.
And then when Rihanna came out with Fenty, it was just like, okay, I didn't realize there was so many shades, you know?
Lana Ogilvy was the first, and then I think Tyra Banks.
That's right.
Tyra
Tyra Banks
Banks,
was
Brandy, then Queen Latifah was in.
But I'm talking about makeup, like the first, like having the first makeup line for colored women. That was Queen Latifah though, right?
Oh yeah, that sounds right. Because Tyra didn't have a line.
No,
and
she was
neither
just a
did
cover
Brandy.
girl.
So Queen Latifah did, I think, have the first line.
And I think Janelle
and that wasn't
Monáe-
even until 2000 something. And then yeah,
Janelle Monáe has one. Didn't Keke Palmer? No, Keke Palmer is something else.
Paula Pattinson. Did she have one? She was just a model.
Oh, did she? Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Yeah,
but,
I know for sure Queen Latifah and Janelle Monáe both have like actual makeup lines with CoverGirl. But yeah, it wasn't until Rihanna came out with all those damn shades.
She said, "We're not doing this anymore."
Yeah, and everybody jumped on the boat and was like, oh, okay, well, we got to make 97 shades now.
Yeah, well, I think for a long time, everyone was saying, like, big companies were like, well, there's just not a market, so we just need 3 darker shades because, you know, they're not selling. And everyone was like, well, they're not selling because you don't have the fucking shades.
Exactly, and they got to mix all these other different things. And then even like Mac coming out with a lot of, a lot more shades. And what's the other one? Juvia's Place. Yeah, they have a lot more shades and, stuff like that. So that's sad that girl had to go through that. God dang.
That sucks. That was me. Did I ever tell you the time it was big in like 2003, 4, 5 that for your birthday party, there were these little like kid salons and you could go and everyone could get their hair done and their toes done. Okay, well, guess whose hair always got fucked up?
Yeah, the
This
mixed girl.
always. And I would cry and cry and cry. It was the fucking worst.
That's horrible.
It's just shitty. It's the shitty feeling.
Yeah, because you don't feel like there's an area for you. Like nobody looks like you.
Or like,
you
why does everybody else get to look great and feel
Right.
good and I feel like shit?
Like you just, I'm just going to do the best I can.
Yeah.
No, I need you to make me the star of the show, bitch, because it's my party.
Yeah. And it wasn't my job. I would hate to show up to work and feel that way.
Yeah, that sucks. To wear a headband with a synthetic wig, that's horrible.
That's some fucking like a nurse hack or something.
Yeah, like you should have figured that crap out. All right.
Let's talk about something fun. Okay. Quick recap. What have you been watching?
Ooh, I just binged The Wilds yesterday.
Yes, The Wilds.
On Amazon. Yeah, I finished all 10 episodes literally in one day.
Okay, I just literally today I started. I think I've already watched 5. But
cool
how did
beans.
you hear about it?
So I had saw it a couple months ago, and I just didn't. I was like, okay, the screenshot of it was like these 5 or 6 girls pulling this one girl out of like quicksand it looked like, and I was like, oh god, this looks stupid, I'm not even gonna do it. So then I was just bored literally yesterday, and it just came again on like my popular in Amazon Prime, and I was like, you know what, let me just watch it. And so I watched the first episode, and I was like, oh, this is interesting.
This shit is. I saw 2 separate people on Instagram post about it, and I was like, this shit must be good. All these people are watching it. I'll start watching it. It's fucking addicting.
Yeah, it's very reminiscent of like The 100 and like
Maze Runner type shit.
Yeah.
Like,
where they show you the ending at the beginning, and then you have to rewind the whole season, but you're hooked by the first episode.
Like young group of kids in like horrible situation, band together, but like there's something else going on that you don't know, but you feel like some people might know, but you don't know who knows what.
Yeah, and they all play their roles very well. Like you have the villain of the movie, you have, the person who you think may be the villain, but then they turn out to be the great person, but it's just a lot of twists and turns to the season. And there's only one season out right now, and it came out last year, so hopefully.
Did it really?
Yeah, it came out last year.
Wow. I really love how it's just like I love shows now that are contemporary. Like they talk about celebrities that are popping up right now, and they have clothes that are popping off, and they use the lingo from right now, and they use social media. I love that because I'm like, yes.
Yeah, because they were definitely talking about a lot of different topics that had already happened in 2020. Not necessarily like COVID, but I think they're set in 2019. I think that's the timing that it's set in. But yeah, that was a really good show. Like I'm ready for season 2. So hopefully COVID hasn't like messed up their recording schedule too much.
Yeah, I've been watching that. I'm watching Discovery of Witches, which is really good.
Discovery of Witches? What is that on?
It's an AMC show, but I watched it on Prime. If you're into like magic, wishy vampire shit, that's the one for you. It's in Europe, like it's filmed in Europe, so everything's beautiful. The men are cute and they have accents.
Spicy.
Edge of the seat. It's got some magic. It's got some vampires. Could not wish for more. Interracial relationships.
Is it a season?
Yeah, so it's on season 2 right now.
Ooh,
yeah,
okay.
it's really good.
At least you can binge,
Yeah, did you ever see the movie Leap Year?
No. Okay. Who plays in it?
Amy Adams, big fan. It's a white girl with red hair that you probably don't fucking know anything about.
Crazy A? Easy A?
No, that's Emma. That's Emma Stone. Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Anyway, it's good. If you're looking for something to watch, I would 10 recommend. Yeah, and then Malcolm and Marie comes out this week.
Malcolm and Marie, what's that?
That's the Netflix movie with Zendaya and John David Washington, who is Denzel's son.
John David Washington.
And he was in that show Ballers.
Yeah. Okay. He also played in, what was the one where he pretended to be the KKK?
Oh, Black Klansman.
Black Klansman,
yeah. So it's a COVID movie they filmed with the guy who directs Euphoria, and they're in a relationship, and it's just about like their relationship. They're in a house, they have this long drawn out conversation fight situation, but it's supposed to be really good. I'll do anything for Zendaya, so
I like this Zendaya. She's a great actress.
Me too.
Even John David though. John David is an amazing
He is great.
actor.
He was so good in Ballers.
Yeah,
and
every movie that he's done so far has not been horrible at all. And I know he's probably sick of hearing that. Oh, you're Denzel Washington's son. No, bitch, I'm just John David.
Yeah.
But it's like you're always going to be Denzel Washington.
He's always going to be. It's fucking Denzel. Denzel's in a new movie.
Oh yeah, it's called
All the Little Things. The Little Things or something. That shit looks good.
Isn't he like a police officer or something?
He's doing something in it, but I would also watch anything with him. So.
Well, Queen Latifah is actually, I think it's coming on CBS after the Super Bowl. The Equalizer that he had, the two movies that he did, Equalizer 1 and 2, they turned it into a TV show, but they made his character a female, and Queen Latifah's playing it, which I don't know how good that's going to be, because I'm like, she isn't really an action person.
She doesn't move very fast.
Right. So I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I love Queen Latifah. She's like my favorite actress. Taxi, oh my God, her and Jimmy Fallon, hilarious. I love Queen Latifah and everything she does, especially Living Single, my old-time favorite. Good. But
or Bringing Down the House.
Bringing Down the House was hilarious. And even Steel Magnolias, when they redid that, her and like Felicia Rashad and Jill Scott, and oh God, it was amazing.
What is the one where she's the PT nurse?
Oh, Just Right.
Yeah.
She was a PT. Get it right. She was a physical therapist.
Sorry,
okay, rehabbing
physiotherapist.
Commons glutes and hamstrings and everything.
I'd like to rehab Commons glutes.
He's with Tiffany Haddish, so
his voice.
Here's the thing about Common that I want to say, that this is not a part of our subject matter today. It's him. He's crazy.
He's gotta be.
Let me tell you something. Everybody tried to make it seem like Erykah Badu was this crazy chick. They're like, Erykah Badu
is not
Erica is not crazy. She is a sure woman who knows what she wants. And when they got together, everybody was like, oh my God, Erykah Badu, she crazy. She called Andre 3000 to go crazy. No, she didn't. That man is not crazy. He's very sane. Number two, all of a sudden now he get with Serena Williams, Angela Rye, now Tiffany Haddish. Common, it's you. It's you. He's crazy. Don't trust Common. He's crazy. I don't care what nobody say. That man's crazy. That's all I'm saying.
Okay,
I will stand on that hill.
Did not
Common is
know
crazy.
we felt so strongly about
I'm just
that.
saying. I literally thought about it the other day, and I was like, all these women this man done been with, and you ain't settled down yet. It's him.
It's gotta be.
It's him. Anyway, I digress. All right. Anything else that we need to be watching?
Nope. Keep your eyes out for that.
I was
There's some
passionate
weird
about that.
fairy shit on Netflix. Have you seen that?
No.
Fate. I think it's called Fate.
Uh-uh.
This girl with red long hair. My mom was watching it. I wasn't paying attention.
But she has like wings on her or something?
No, I don't know. It seems like MTV-y. I'll have to check back in with you.
Man.
Yeah, I don't know about it.
Yeah, let me check it out and then tell me how it goes. All right, let's head on over to the rehab corner.
They tried to make me go to rehab. I said,
Go, go, go.
hey, yes, I've been bad, but when I come back, you'll
Go, go, go. Get your ass in that corner.
Hey, welcome to the Rehab Corner, everybody. What are we talking about today?
All right, so we are talking about projecting your opinions on people, professional versus personal.
Oh, I love to do it.
So I'm gonna tell you why we sparked up this conversation. This actually happened to me this week. So this week I was, in the ICU. My student was evaluating one of our patients, one of our post-surgical patients. I ended up seeing one of the psychiatrists that works at our hospital, and I hadn't seen him pretty much most of the pandemic because he's an old guy or an older guy, and he, I guess, left the hospital and was doing more telehealth because he was, in that compromised age group with regard to COVID. And he's also obese. I am obese as well, too. So I won't call somebody else obese without calling myself obese. Anywho, so I saw him and I was like, oh my gosh, Dr. So-and-so, you look so great. Like, he lost weight. He's like, yeah, I feel really good. He was like, yeah, I just haven't been here in a couple months just because of COVID and everything in my age and blah, blah, blah.
That's why he looks so good.
Exactly, because he hasn't been at work. And so he was like, well, yeah, you're going to be seeing me a lot more now just because I got the vaccine. So I'm good. I'm safe now. And I was like, oh, awesome. Good for you. And so he's like, you got your vaccine, right? And I was like, no.
I don't know why we have to ask everybody that. Not in a, like, there's a difference between being inquisitive and being like,
Judgy. Yes. It was very much judgy because like I said to him, well, no, I'm not getting the vaccine right now. He's like, why?
Because I have a uterus,
why?
dude.
And so
I have a choice.
When he said why, I said, well, I'm not getting it for the same reason you got it. Because you wanted it and I don't want it. So that's the same reason. So what's the big deal? He's like, but the risks. The benefits of it outweigh the risk. There's so much research on it. And I said, well, Dr. So-and-so, there's actually a ton of research that's missing. This is why they can't tell you what the effects of the vaccine are on childbearing age women who are breastfeeding, women who are pregnant. This is why they can't give you the information because they don't have the research available because why? No pregnant women are offering up their bodies to be able to be tested on.
Hell no, I wouldn't either.
So I wouldn't either. Exactly. So I looked at him and he was like, you really should get it. I said, no. And I said, you projecting your personal opinion on me is a problem. Also, too, my cousin, and she's going to listen to this podcast and that's perfectly fine. She posted on our Facebook family page about, the fact that she got the vaccine and that, she's encouraging everybody to get it and she didn't have any side effects and all this other kind of stuff. Here's my biggest problem with healthcare professionals projecting their personal opinions on patients.
Let me hear it.
Your personal opinion does not matter to me as a patient. Okay. Your only job as a medical professional is to gather the facts based off your examination, your evaluation, your palpation, and you are supposed to take all of that medical information based off what you have in your brain from all the books you read and all the experience that you have. And you are supposed to now give me a diagnosis and a prognosis based off those facts that you gathered, not putting your own personal shit inside some stuff. Because here's also my problem. If you as a healthcare professional has not been on this bandwagon of telling and posting and telling people, hey y'all, if you got diabetes, you really need to cut out this and cut out that. Oh, it's time for your flu vaccine or your flu shot. Hey y'all really need to go get some exercise and do all of this stuff. If you have not been on the bloodstained banner for all of these other diseases and all these other things, you haven't made a post about wrapping it up and using condoms and AIDS is still out here. You have not made a post about anything else dealing with medicine. But all of a sudden you want to make a post or you want to start telling people you really should get the vaccine. Listen, nobody knows how much I've seen.
They also don't know your health.
You don't know my health, and I have the choice and the right. There are some doctors in our hospital who have not gotten the vaccine. There are some nurses who actively work with COVID who are choosing not to get the vaccine. I am not a person that's against vaccines, period, because I am a vaccinated person and I've been a person who's gotten the flu shot and whatnot. But what I am is somebody who reads and who has a choice. I have seen firsthand how devastating COVID can be. I've held the hands of people as they died. Like I've literally coded patients with COVID. So I know the devastation that COVID has done, and I'm still choosing in this moment not to get a vaccine just because all the rest of y'all want to get it. And just because you've done your little reading of your one little article, that has nothing to do with me, and you should not project your personal opinion on me based off because 24 hours later you perfectly fine. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn if you're fine 5 days later. I'm still not getting that shit now. And don't make me feel bad because I'm not getting it. Because how many times do we tell our patients, again, I am an obese woman, okay? I tell my patients every day, you need to get up and move. If you don't get up and move, you're going to die. That's not me projecting myself. That's me telling you a fact.
It is a fact.
It's a fact that you will die if you don't get your ass up. The same goal for me. Monica, if you don't lose this weight, bitch, you're going to end up on Dr. Now, okay? 600-pound life. Now, I ain't that big, but I'm just saying. I'm obese, and I need to work on that. But my thing is, don't project your own personal opinion and your own personal hang-up when people are asking you for professional information and professional advice.
Manipulative.
It's very manipulative. It's extreme because people are already, and especially people of color, you're already looking at this person, whether it be in your family, your friend circle, as, okay, they know everything about medicine. It doesn't matter what you do in healthcare. You could be, a damn, pharmacist, and they'll ask you, oh my God, what I should do about this. They'll ask you about, are you a dietitian? They'll ask you, well, should I get this surgery? Bitch, I don't know. I'm a dietitian. Patients ask us to explain stuff to them all the time.
Oh yeah, someone asked me to explain their cardiac procedure the other day.
Yeah, and I
said, here's what we're not going to do.
I'll gladly explain it to a degree, but I'm like, hey, you need to go talk to your doctor. How many times do doctors come in and they talk with all this medical jargon, and then the patients are like, so what was the doctor actually saying?
Yeah. Oh, I hate that so much.
Yeah.
I'm always like, you can ask questions. Ask your questions. I know they're rushing to get out of here and make
but
them
don't let
stay.
them leave.
Don't let them leave. Ask your questions.
Yeah. Because like I said, if you have never made a post about, and again, on the bloodstained banner telling people to eat right, drink your water, you ain't talked about nothing else medically. But all of a sudden now a vaccine, you want to, hey guys, I don't really think you should get this. I'm encouraging everybody. Then people posting their pictures of them getting the vaccine as if that's like going to make everybody jump on the bandwagon. I'm just going to be like, good for you and goodbye.
Like we're voting again or something.
Exactly. Because my thing is, you got the vaccine and I don't look at you as any different because you're working with COVID patients. So now you're seeing on the back end what I have seen since March of last year. I don't make you feel bad for, oh my God, you getting that damn vaccine? Oh, you going to turn into a zombie. Now I may say that as, joking or whatever. I mean, we talked about that in the very beginning, but even now you don't make me feel bad about not getting it yet. And I'm not opposed to the vaccine. I just want to wait a little bit longer just to see. Give me to December.
We have different health histories.
Yes.
We're different ages. We're different portions of our life.
Exactly.
I'm willy-nilly out here just getting the fucking vaccine. I don't know. I think doctors are coming from a good place, but a lot of them forget just because they have so much knowledge and because they get so numb to this shit. They're just like, this is the information you need to hear. You're just going to hear it from me. I'm just going to tell you what to do.
Right.
And you can't do that. That's why I love my PCP. He's the fucking sweetest man I've ever met. And he's always going to be like, listen, I'll support you whatever you want to do, but I'm going to tell you like I would tell my sister. This is what I've heard. This is what I think we should do, but it's up to you.
Yeah. I mean, even people who have these life-changing situations. I remember even for my mom, when she got the diagnosis of breast cancer, these doctors, we got to do this and we got to do that, and just rushing her through the process. And I'm like, whoa, you just told this woman she has cancer. Let her digest that first, as opposed to we need to do this treatment. Okay, I get it. Let me have a minute to succumb to the fact that you just told me I have cancer and get out all these thoughts in my head about everything that I've seen about cancer, everything that I've heard about cancer, whether it's true or not. Give me time to digest it. And even to her first oncologist that she had, he was extremely rude, extremely manipulative. I remember when I went to the doctor with her, he was just like, oh, your mom's gonna die if she doesn't get this surgery and blah, 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 blah. whoa, who the hell you talking to, bro? I told my mom, transfer your records. Let's go. Cause he about to get busted in the mouth. I don't know who the hell he think he talking to.
I hate when people think they have to stay with someone. When they're in the hospital, I'm like, I don't say it, but I'm like, you can get rid of that. You can no doctor.
You can fire your hospitalist and you can fire your doctors.
Everyone at the hospital gets so numb. The nurses get numb because they're tired and they see the same shit every day. The doctors
and you can
get
fire
tired.
your nurse too.
But I'm just like, and we do it too. I'll like run through my spiel. Oh yeah, you probably can't go home. You got to go to rehab. Da, 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 da. And it takes one person being like, wait, what do you mean rehab?
Yeah.
What even is that? I can't go home. And I'm like, shit, dude, how many people have I told this to? Did I even explain it to anybody today? Because I hear it 19 times a day, every single fucking day. These people have never heard it in their lives.
That's very true. Because they can fire us too. I mean, there have been times where a patient's like,
been fired.
I don't want Monica back in the room, or I come in and like, I will work with you, but I am not working with so and so and so and so. And we're like, okay, well, let's go and get on up. Okay, but I've been definitely fired a bunch of times by patients, and I'm like, feelings mutual, bitch. I don't want to work with you either. But I think it is so incredibly manipulative, especially because when people are in a medical situation, they are at their most vulnerable point, and they don't need what you would do personally. They don't need to know your religious history. They don't need to know none of that stuff. All they need to know is your professional facts that you know based off what you've studied and what you've experienced in your clinical practice and what is evidence-based. Let me say that again. All patients need to hear is what is evidence-based, coupled with the facts that you took from your examination, your evaluation, coupled with your lab results, scans, all of that stuff. You make a plan of care of what needs to happen with that patient. That's what you present the options to your patient. And that is it. Well, if I were you, I do. No. Now you're being unethical. Don't put your shit on nobody else. I mean, I've had patients who have asked me, well, I mean, what would you do in this situation? I'm not about to tip this shit. We can say all day what we shoulda, coulda, woulda. Yeah. Man, if somebody came in here and tried to run me, I would scurry over here. You don't know what you would do if you're in that situation.
What does Jordan Wood say? I don't want your situation.
No, I don't know. I don't know.
Like, do you remember that young girl that came in and she had a heart transplant when she was like 7?
Or
something. And so her heart had just aged out and they brought her back in. She was on ECMO and they were like, you will need another transplant. Yeah. She was like,
I don't think I want it.
I don't think I want it. And everyone was like, what the fuck? But that's her choice.
That was her choice.
No one knows that she's been on anti-rejection meds. Yep. She has to deal with all the bullshit. She has to live at home.
In and out of hospitals.
In and out of the hospital. And she was like, I don't know that I want to fucking do this anymore.
And didn't she die? I think she died.
I think she might have died.
Yeah, because I think she was waiting on getting a heart, and I think she had. Did they give her a balloon? I think she also had a balloon pump.
Yes.
And then the balloon pump ruptured or something like that. But she ended up dying. But she really didn't. She took a long time to decide.
And she was overweight.
She wanted the heart. Yeah.
There was a lot of stuff going on, and I just remember thinking, your immediate thought is, that's insane. People are telling you need a new transplant. Right. You need a transplant.
Exactly.
But you don't know what the fuck people are, and it's their choice.
This is why we have DNRs.
That's why.
Like,
it's your fucking choice.
I get it that medicine is this field where our main agenda is to keep you alive and as healthy as possible.
But you can,
but at some point,
only if you want to be alive.
Only if you have the right to die. I remember I had this conversation with our ECMO. We call him Captain ECMO at our hospital. I had this conversation with him and I just told him, I was like, you get so offended by death. Because you literally snatch people out of death's hands with your big bad ECMO machine, and it gives you a hard on. And the fact that when people die, even on these machines, you take it personal. Like somebody done said, yo mama bald head, she ugly, she got one toothless. Like nobody, like why are you taking death so serious? Like not seriously, but why are you taking it so personal when these patients want to give up? Even when they tell us, I want to die, I'm ready to die. And we go and tell them, hey, Dr. Dude.
I don't know why therapy is the fucking confessional. And then they flip that shit as soon as anyone else comes in the room.
I didn't say I want to die. Who told you that?
This patient will be like, I have Remember that man who told me he was having a heart attack? Which he was probably faking it. He was like, I have 8 out of 10 chest pain. It is radiating down my arm. And I was like, holy fuck. I go get the nurse. He's like, nope, good over here. Nothing.
No, then I say in rounds, hey, do y'all want us to see him? Because PT-OT tried to go see him and he was complaining of this, and that. And the nurse was like, what the fuck? Hey, he didn't tell me that. He just sitting here eating breakfast. Ain't nothing wrong with him.
I don't know if it's because we have to get up and close and personal with them, or we take the time to just fucking listen. Yeah. I don't know. I think
it's that. I think we take the time to listen, and we're in there a lot more than like, we're in there for an extended period of time versus like the nurses are in there more often, but we are, who's that? Is that me staticking or is that you?
Oh, it's me. Hold on.
Oh. Yeah, plug your mic back in. All right. So the nurses are in there way more than we are, but I think the time gaps, like a nurse may go in there 15, 20 minutes at a time. Yeah. So we come in there and we stay in there for like 30, 45 minutes at a time and stuff like that.
My biggest pet peeve is when I'm in there and you're asking them all these questions and they're like, well, I haven't slept because I've been having this kind of pain and this weird thing's happening and da 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 da. And the doctor comes in and interrupts your whole session and they're like, hey, how are you feeling? And they're like, fine.
And you're like, didn't you just tell me?
And I hate having to be like, actually, she was just explaining to me this pain and this is going on. And I'm just like, oh.
And the patient's just like, oh, yeah, that was happening, but it's not that bad. Bitch, you just said you couldn't do therapy because of it. What the hell?
So I'm like, this is why you need someone else in the hospital with you. But we don't have that right now because of COVID.
Well,
you know, well, we do and don't. But I just, your job as a doctor is just to,
as a healthcare clinician in general,
everyone in healthcare, it's just to apply your expertise to that situation and provide options for the patient and give your advice.
And give them they still have the autonomy. Don't take patients' autonomy from them. They have the right to make a decision, and their decision can be death. Or to do nothing. Because how many patients do we have that they're like, you need a cabbage because you're in 100%, a third degree block. 100% stenosis, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, no, I don't want the surgery. And you're like, all right, go ahead and sit at home.
How many patients have we known that are non-compliant, but we give them the heart or we give them the LVAD or we do whatever the fuck. And then they're back because they didn't.
Because they were non-compliant.
They were non-compliant, and that's what we knew were going to happen. And everyone rose flags and said, hey, just so you know. And they're like, no, they need it. And they said they'll do it, so we got to do it. Which I'm not saying we shouldn't give people what they need.
Right.
But it's the same thing. You're pushing this shit on people that aren't necessarily ready or prepared or know what they're signing up for.
Right. Just don't project your own personal opinion on people. I don't care if 1 million people got the vaccine. Who gives a crap? Stop telling us that you've gotten the vaccine. Stop telling us, I encourage you to stay out of my business and let me do my own research, because I may have done my own research and I may not like the research that I see. And so that's even why some parents choose not to give their kids vaccines. Even we may look at us as the vaccinated community may look at them weird, but you have to still respect at the same time. If this parent doesn't feel comfortable giving their child something, there's a reason behind it. And you don't have to like it, but you got to respect it. And even too, when my mom went to a different oncologist, it was so different because they took their time to explain the stuff to her, and they still said it in a way to her like, listen, it's very imperative that you get this because here are your options based off the test results that we have, based off your staging, all this other kind of stuff, what we've seen with the evidence and the experience, my experience of being an oncologist, this is what's going to happen with this particular disease. Okay. And if you don't get the surgery, here are the other options that could happen. So based off this is what I feel based off all of my evidence should be your plan of care. Not just, well, I think you should get it because the research is out there. And if you got any questions, no, did you make the damn vaccine?
Yeah.
You didn't make the vaccine. Stop making people feel bad because they don't want to get it. People have the right to choose what they want. I don't care if you're an MD. I don't care if you're a damn astronaut. I don't care if you're Dr. fucking Fauci. Stop trying to convince people to get this shit when they have already made up their minds. You showing me a picture of your card saying, I did it for my family. That is not going to make me, my mind is already made up.
Can we stop doing that? I don't want to know. And it's going to make the people, like, here's the thing. My Instagram feed at this moment in time is full of like 20 to 35-year-old young professional people. No one is deathly sick, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't want to see that you got the vaccine. That's very good. But all these hundreds of people who can't fucking get it and actually fucking need it are sitting here waiting for it.
Very true.
Don't project that. Get your vaccine. Keep it fucking pushing. Do your job.
Are you going to show us your AIDS result? Your HIV results? Are you going to show us your CBC? Are you going to show us your yearly CMP? Are you going to show us your pap smear results?
Yeah.
Like, stop doing that.
It's the same. I feel like in everyone's, not even that it's a conscious thought, but I feel like it's the voting thing. Like, oh, you get this sticker and you post it. It's going to get more people to do it.
Right.
Maybe, but also a lot of people see that and they're like, fuck this, I'm not gonna go do that.
Yeah.
So then
You're sheep for the slaughter.
Yeah, because they're overwhelmed and they're annoyed, so they don't do it. Everyone do what's best for them.
Right.
If you want to talk about it, fine, go ahead. Please do not persecute anyone else who doesn't want to get this fucking vaccine, because that's gonna make, it's only gonna drive more people away.
Yeah. And the looks that people give you when you say, well, no, I'm not getting it right now.
Dude,
what?
patients almost, I want to say like 70% of my patients have been asking me,
yeah,
well, have you gotten your vaccine? well, why not? Like,
Why
well,
are
you
you
haven't
not-
gotten the second one.
What?
We've gotten our dead. And I was like, yeah, and you're in the hospital. You're sick. So you needed it.
Exactly.
Like, I've been working with COVID around and around this hospital. Do you hear me fucking wheezing?
Yeah, I do.
I do need the vaccine. Shit.
Second dose on the way.
I'm like, we've been around COVID for a year.
Yeah, we
and the
literally
only
have.
people, knock on wood, who have gotten it, it has not been from anyone inside of the hospital.
Yeah.
So I've never been worried that I'm going to get COVID at the hospital, and that is why I would get the vaccine,
Yeah.
right? Because I am around it and I don't want to get it.
Right.
I mean, I got it anyway because you can hear me fucking breathing. I can't fucking get this shit, but I don't know. It's just everyone's like, I can't believe you work here and you don't have no one at the hospital. No, I won't say that. A lot of people who work at the hospital fucking want it because when all of this happens, the hospital is very unorganized with the PPE shit and
Yeah.
the rules change every fucking day.
And I think that's for every hospital, not just
it's
ours.
not just, and I
It's
think
everywhere.
PPE wise, we've been one of the better hospitals. Like
Yes.
we've never had to wear a mask more than one day. We had to reprocess them, but that was
okay.
different.
I was
but
like,
there's people who had one N95 for a week. You know what I mean?
That's very true.
We were never like that.
I had like 5 in rotation at one
yeah,
point.
we've always been very blessed, but I feel like
Yeah.
when hospitals aren't, I don't know, prepared for things like this, and it's not very
Yeah.
organized, and they don't seem like they know what they're doing. Because
That's when the
who
exposure
knows?
goes up.
That's when the exposure goes up, and that's when if now you're gonna push this vaccine on me, I'm not gonna fucking take that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think like, again, you cannot try to force your own a personal opinion on patients without understanding the context of these people's brains. Like even in my family, there are a lot more baby boomers that are floating around in my family who have been through the experience of knowing the Tuskegee experiment. You know what I mean? Like they were born around that time. And again, we talked about this on the last episode where medicine at one point, there was no autonomy in medicine. You did what the fuck the doctors told you to do without any questions asked. I remember even I had a conversation with my grandmother one time. This was like years ago. I think she was like in her 80s or 70s or something. And she was just like, well, yeah, I had a hysterectomy. And I was like, oh my gosh, grandma, why did you have to have a hysterectomy? And she was like, I don't know. The doctor told me I had to. What the fuck?
Yeah.
And her being born in 1924, she's 96. She's going to be 97 in March.
You don't ask questions.
You don't ask the doctor questions. So for you, for us being millennials and growing up and now having all this medical knowledge, we have to be very conscious, very conscientious of the audience that we are speaking to and to understand the trauma behind why these people don't want to get it. You showing your card is not going to help a baby boomer figure that shit out. Even again, my dad was phenomenal for saying, you ain't about to Tuskegee me. I mean, even when he was sick, he was like, no, y'all are not playing in my brain. Y'all not doing none of this
Yeah.
stuff. And I totally get it because you don't know what these people have seen. I mean, even look back from the piece of shit father of gynecology. How did this man develop a fucking speculum? He practiced without anesthesia on these women. And you growing up hearing that, there was a certain disdain that you hold for medical professionals. And so when you have somebody in your family, again, somebody in your close friend circle, somebody at your church who is a healthcare professional, you have to understand the position and the role that you play and that these people look up to everything you say.
Well, yeah,
and
because they only have access to what they're hearing on the news.
Right. And I'm like, and even us, I've been in the medical field for 7 years, or I've been a physical therapist for 7 years. I've been in the medical field for over 15 years because I was a CNA first. Even if people come to me and ask me questions, I am going to redirect you to your PCP. Now, if it's something that I can answer, I'm cool with that. But I am never going to sit here with my little knowledge of 7 years and 15 plus years will ever try to compare to a baby boomer who's been doing this for 30 and 40 years.
Yeah.
You have to understand and be conscious of the audience that you are talking to. And, if you have any questions, baby, how long you been a nurse? 2 days? Get the hell out of my face.
Yeah, medical literacy is not, it's not as prominent as I would like it to be.
No, like you can't, like, I don't care because you've been in this business or you've been, you're a resident or intern or, a doctoral PT intern, a OT intern, whatever. And because you read a couple articles, now you can just give everybody all this medical advice. I don't care if you have MD behind your name. Stop pushing your personal opinions on anybody. You are only supposed to provide evidence-based facts.
That's the job.
That's the job. Don't sit here and tell people, they're going to die without it. You're going to need this in 10 years. Really? Without any supporting evidence. Like really? So you would accept that from somebody else if they gave you no supporting evidence as to why you needed to get X, Y, and Z? You just tell them, well, in my opinion, I just think you should get the pacemaker today. Why should I get the pacemaker? Because you need it. Why do I need it? Well, because you do. Okay, that's not enough. That's not enough.
Yeah.
Well, if I were you, I would get this, experimental treatment. What? Because that's literally what this vaccine is. It's experimental. Mm-hmm. I don't care. It's just mRNA. People,
buzzwords?
Oh my God, I can't with people. I just can't. Let people make their own decisions for their lives. If people want to take pause with their medical care, they have that right.
It's also not, I don't know. It has nothing to do with you.
It doesn't. Well, don't you want to protect your family? That's manipulative.
That's so
Stop saying shit like
you know?
that. Don't you want to protect your kids? Don't you want to protect the rest of the world? Fuck the rest of the world. Like, are you kidding me? I'm not saying I'm not over here.
I'm protecting the rest of the world by staying my ass inside and wearing a mask.
Thank you. I'm not up here with a banner saying, don't get the vaccine, don't get the vaccine. I'm just minding my business. And you coming over here in my business saying, hey, for all of you stupidies who are not getting the vaccine, you really should get it. No, you really should shut the fuck up. That's what you really should do. In Jesus' name, shut the fuck up. Okay?
Shut the fuck up.
Like that just the way his face looked when I said, oh no, I haven't got it. He was like, what? You would have thought I would have shot him or something like, oh my God.
People are doing a lot of projecting these days.
It's annoying. Stay in your lane and worry about yourself. Provide people with the facts.
If everyone did that, I think we wouldn't even need a vaccine.
Here's the thing again. Even I was watching or reading today how, what's her name? Naomi
Campbell.
No, the tennis player. Naomi
Osaka.
And Serena Williams, they are now playing in the Australian Open. Those motherfuckers
are wilding out.
They are playing in front of a stadium of 4,200 maskless people. Why? Because Australia has eradicated COVID. Why can't the United States of America do the same thing?
You know my feelings.
New Zealand. I'm moving to New Zealand. I wouldn't move to Australia because Australia got big bugs and creatures and snakes crawling out of the toilet.
There's no snakes in New Zealand.
That's what I'm saying. New Zealand got good food. I'm just saying. And it's run by a woman. Come on.
Love it. Aboriginals, I'm here for you.
Yes. And they don't.
Kiwis.
They literally they don't have to wear masks nowhere. So New Zealand and Australia, don't let Americans come in your country.
I'm sure. I was just going to say, I'm sure we're not even allowed over there.
No, they're like, if you don't show me a vaccine card, you can't get up. You can't. Matter of fact, even if you got the vaccine, you can't come here.
Girl,
no
you can
Americans.
come here if you quarantine for 6 months.
Right.
Because y'all dirty.
Oh my gosh. But that's what I'm saying. It's like you pushing this onto people is almost like you don't want people to think for themselves and have opinions. I know so many people in the healthcare industry who are actively working with COVID patients as long as I have, and they are still choosing not to get this vaccine. Again, I'm obese and I know better. Have I gone to the gym? No. I mean, I did yoga.
That's good.
Did I still eat some fruit snacks today? I sure did.
It's a balance.
And I had pizza last night, and I'm not ashamed.
Amen.
So that's all I'm saying. Stop projecting on the people. Stop projecting. Thank you for being concerned, but your concern is very manipulative. So stop doing it.
Unneeded, unnecessary,
it's very
unwarranted.
Very unnecessary. Just stop. Read the room, Kim.
Read the room.
Yeah, it's annoying. But anyway, so yes. So I'm quite sure this doctor's gonna look at me like I'm so dirty every time he sees me, like, that bitch didn't get the vaccine. You goddamn right, I'm gonna cough all on you in my mask. I mean, he's just like, oh, the vaccine is a superpower. I'm immune. I'm never gonna get COVID. It's like that's not how this works. They don't even know if you'll have to get it every year like the flu shot. They don't know. And you're just like, oh no, I can come back in the hospital now. This was the best
they could do with the time and the constraints that they had.
Absolutely. And here's the thing. I'm appreciative of all of these amazing scientists and researchers who came up with this vaccine, because like you said, they did the absolute best that they could in the time frame and the conditions. But at the same time, just because you come out with something great does not mean that everybody is going to jump on the bandwagon. People don't take multivitamins. And that's the best thing you can do for your body, right? People still have the option not to take multivitamins, and it's okay. They may want to take supplements some other kind of way. They may want to, herbalize all their other kind of stuff, or eat fruits to be able to get their vitamins in. So it's totally okay. Let people have a time for pausing. It's totally okay.
I feel like diabetes is a bigger killer than COVID, and
thank you.
People still out here eating crazy.
Diabetes and hypertension, it is still the silent killer.
and not everyone's jumping on the heart healthy diet. So
This is what I'm saying. If you're not going to promote all of these other things that have been killing people, especially people of color, and based off your particular ethnicity and your race, you know, heart disease, high cholesterol, diabetes, obesity, you have not been promoted. I ain't seen you post one post about getting the flu shot. I ain't seen you post one post about taking a statin or taking some metformin.
I'm just like, as many people have come into the hospital with COVID, how many people have come in with strokes, heart attacks, all the same shit?
Before,
still
during,
killing
and
people.
after. Yes, absolutely. Like, you don't come on the bandwagon for just a vaccine, because again, it's very manipulative, because you have not been on the blood state banner for none of these other things. So it's real suspect. Okay, just stay in your lane and let people have a choice, and let them have autonomy. Get your vaccine or don't get it.
Who cares?
Who cares?
Wear a mask and social distance. That's all I got.
Pretty much. I mean, just wash your hands, wash your ass. I mean, we've been saying this since last year.
Pits, tits, and slits.
Okay, the Wilds.
She said that and I died.
She's like, I'm taking a hoe bath. What's a hoe bath?
Pits, tits, and slits.
Goddamn millennials, you don't know what a hoe bath is. Shameful. Anyway, so yeah, anything else we want to discuss?
I just have one last thing to say.
Ooh, let's do it.
Like, I'm not against nursing at all.
Oh, Jesus.
I love a good nurse. I
Yes.
don't think I could ever work hard enough to be a nurse.
Right.
You guys are extremely underpaid for the work that you do.
Mm-hmm.
This is not about that. This is about the fucking disrespect on my name every time I'm in the goddamn room with PT. And I don't fucking get it, because you know who always leaves the floor the earliest and won't help y'all transfer these motherfuckers back to bed? PT. They're off the
Damn
floor.
right.
They don't give a shit. They get in the chair and leave them. But you know who always gets sucked into the bullshit is OT. And just because we're wearing the same color scrubs doesn't mean we're the same fucking people. On Friday, I'm in a fucking room transferring this guy who's a fresh cabbage. Monica's in there with her student. The student's doing the eval. I'm going in there. I'm moving all the lines. I'm talking to the guy. We're moving to the bed. All of this shit. Monica is holding one. Are you even holding a line? Or you're just hitting the fucking head?
No, I was just putting the head of the bed, the
She
head of
was
the bed down.
literally, I'm like fucking waist deep in this man's limbs trying to transfer him. Her students holding fucking chest tubes and shit. All this girl is doing is standing there and
just
hitting
standing
the
there.
head of the bed.
Yeah.
And the nurse is like, Monica, can I help you? Monica, what do you need? Oh, you're doing such a good job, Monica. This is such a good physical therapy team. Da, 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 da.
And let me just preface this by saying, I don't know this nurse. Like, that was my second time actually working with her ever in life.
Yo, I almost fucking lost it. She's like, Monica, how can I help you? Tell me what you need. Da, 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 da. And I was like, she's not doing anything.
I'm just standing
She's
here.
fucking standing there. And this lady acts like I don't fucking exist. This guy's sitting on the edge of the bed. So I'm down on the ground, like squatting, talking to him because he's in so much pain. And then as Monica's, again, just standing behind
Just
him,
standing
just
behind
shooting the
her.
shit, like not even doing anything.
Looking at my stocks.
All Monty says is, oh yeah, like his gown's kind of twisted. She's, oh my God, Monica, okay, let's fix it. Blah, 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 let's fix the gown. Going off. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? This man sitting at the edge of the bed. I'm trying to do this assessment. This nurse is now fucking with his gown and
Yeah.
all of his IV lines.
Your poor knees. You just sitting there stuck
I
in
was
the
like,
squat.
are you fucking kidding me? And the whole time, like, oh, Monica, how long have you worked on this unit? Monica, you're so smart. You know everything. Blah, blah, blah,
And then
blah,
she's
blah.
like telling the wife, like, oh, so Monica, she's explaining this and this and that. And she's the best PT and I'm just like, I don't know if you saying this to try to, because you know I'm, never mind, I'm going to say that because I'm going to incriminate myself. But like, I don't know what your reason is behind saying all this stuff, but it's not healthy.
It's just extremely fucking rude when I'm actively doing everything.
Seriously.
And this bitch is standing in the back. She's in the back of the patient.
I'm not even touching
Hands
the patient.
off, not even doing anything, doing the bitch work of not even the bitch work. It wasn't even work. She's
doing
fucking
nothing.
pushing a button on the bed, and she moved a line for me.
I think it was the suction. That's all I touched was just the
I've
suction.
never been so fucking
Yeah.
irate in my life.
My student did more than I did in the room.
God. Oh,
Yeah.
this is such a great physical therapist. Blah, 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 blah. And I was like, this motherfucker, dude. I'm out of here.
We came out of the room and Alyssa was like, I gotta get the fuck out of here right now.
And it's just because it had already been a hard day. I'm fucking sweating because it had just been like back to back fucking crazy shit happening. And
Yeah.
that was the fucking cherry on top of my day. So all I'm saying is, not specific to me, but just read the fucking room.
Read the room, Kim.
I need the nurses to read the room. It fucking hurts my feelings.
Yeah.
when you compliment the person in the room not doing any of
Who's
the work.
not doing anything. And I can confess, I was not doing anything.
This
I
isn't
was
even
like,
being dramatic. She
No.
literally didn't do shit.
no, I just asked the nurse for like a Chuck's pad and a slider sheet.
Oh yes. Oh, and
That's
then she
it.
was like, "Don't even worry about that. I got that. Just leave that on the ground." As I'm like
Yeah.
Foley in my hands and like, oh my god.
And then she said something about like, oh, well, she's not really explaining anything or something like that when you were asking her
because
something.
this fuck Jesus Christ, I don't. It's not a nurse. It was like this specific nurse is standing there talking to the wife, you know, because when we first move you after a surgery, it looks pretty
Yeah.
fucking bad.
Yeah, it does.
So I think she was just trying to tell her like kind of keep her busy, which I appreciate normally, but we're in a small fucking room, so I need you
Yes.
out of here. Just fucking leave.
And you keep complimenting me when I'm not doing anything.
Yeah, so unless you're gonna tell me nice things about myself, you can go. And so she's talking to the wife, but they're fucking yelling.
Yeah.
And the wife was like, "Oh, I think I'll just be quiet while
Mm-hmm.
they're working." She's like, "No, it's fine." As Monty is explaining the chest tube to her student, because they have the ones that you have to pull the filter out
The
of while you're
pleural
moving.
flow.
The pleural flow, yeah. So it's kind of important information. I would like to know it
Yeah.
if I was a student and didn't know what the fuck I was doing.
Exactly.
And this fucking nurse is like, "Oh, don't worry. She's not explaining anything important. She's just telling him how the equipment works." And I was like, "That isn't what?
That's kind of important,
That's
ma'am.
fucking important."
Yeah, that's important.
So she continues to scream in the room, and
Yeah.
it was just a hot fucking mess.
Yeah. And then I proceeded to show my student a dead body in the ICU. In
Yeah,
the ICU, there was like a code that happened, and I was like, "Hey, I saw the solid blue light, and then I'm like, hey, you want to see a dead body?"
As I'm
like,
sweating with the patient,
right,
looking
and so
for help.
my student's like, I mean, not particularly. I was like, let's go look at the dead body.
She's like, "No, you need to see
You
this.
need to
This
see
is a
the-"
part of it."
And so the nurses are like, Monica, why would you make him see that? And so some of the other nurses were like, he needs to see this. Okay, every healthcare professional, you need to see a dead body. And so he goes in, and the patient was like super fresh, so he was still kind of warm. And so he's like, he just looks like he's sleeping. I was like, yeah, he's dead. And I was
But
like, you see
eternal
how
sleep.
And the thing is, I told him, I said, you see how morbid we are? Like, they're around here talking about, oh yeah, what I'm gonna make for dinner tonight, as they're like prepping the body for the morgue and all this other kind of stuff. And I was like, yeah, all right, on to the next patient, let's go. And he was like, oh, this is kind of weird. And I was like, hey, it's ICU, dude.
Just another
You got to turn
day.
it off.
Yep.
You got to learn how to turn it off. Process it. Move the fuck on. So yeah, we're all that to say, we're dealing with PTSD. That's
Yeah.
healthcare workers.
All that to say, I don't know what I could do short of screaming my job and its duties through the halls to
Yeah.
get some goddamn respect in this place.
Yeah, no, that'll never happen.
It's not gonna happen. I'm so
No.
pissed. But just it was just because you literally were not doing a
I was
single
not
goddamn
doing a
thing.
single thing. I literally was standing there just watching my student to make sure that my student didn't pop off none of these chest tubes. Because I think the patient had like 3 chest tubes and like an art line on his side. So I was just making sure that he was knowledgeable about the
And
lines.
she wasn't
for
even
you.
in the fucking room. I pulled her in to be like, "Hey, will you watch these lines for me while we're moving?"
Well, yeah, because I was trying to give my student an opportunity to co-eval with the OT to be able to communicate. Because if I keep calling things out to him, he's not going to learn how to
No,
communicate.
I agree. I'm just
Yeah.
saying you weren't even fucking needed.
No, I wasn't.
And then
I
as
really
soon as you
wasn't.
got in there, like you were the fucking ICU celebrity, which I'm like, are you fucking kidding? She hasn't been here for 3 weeks.
I really
This is such
wasn't.
bullshit. I know PT takes precedence and everyone knows PT and like fuck OT. And I've always known that. But in that moment, I was like, fuck this.
I think I really don't know what her reasoning, her specific reason was, because literally I've only talked to this lady. That was my second time ever working with one of her patients. Like,
I've never heard someone
second.
compliment someone else. What I'm trying to say is I've never had someone give someone else in the room so many compliments like exclusively.
Yeah.
That wasn't, I don't know, like hitting on them
And just
or
totally
attracted to
ignoring
them.
the other two
Yeah,
people.
I was like, are we here?
Yeah,
I'm
because she
sorry.
just kept saying, "Oh
Bleep
my
out
god,
his name.
Monica, how long have you been a PT? Oh my god, you are just amazing!" Like, and I was just like,
They're
"Who
great.
sent
Well,
you?"
I'm just like, all right, fuck me, right?
I was
Okay,
like,
cool.
who sent you? That's why I just like slowly Homer Simpsoned and walked out, and I was like, okay, this is awkward.
So I fucking stormed out of the room.
Yeah,
'cause
she
I
was
was
like, I gotta
sweating.
get the fuck out of here now, and I was like, awkward.
I didn't want her to shower me in praise, but like, I
Yeah.
don't know, acknowledging my presence would have been nice.
Definitely give
But
you
you
a
know,
couple compliments.
It's fine. I made it through the day, and
Yeah, this week is gonna be an amazing week. I can feel it in my bones.
this week's gonna be it.
Even if I don't believe it, I'm gonna say it until I believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This week
I gotta
I'm
fake it till I
gonna
make it.
win $1 million.
Are you gonna pay my student loans off?
If I won $1 million, we'll talk.
It depends on if it's tax free or
Yeah,
not.
yeah, we'll talk.
Yeah, pay one off. You know,
Yeah.
a portion.
I'll help you out. I'll get you started on a venture or two.
I appreciate that. Thank you. All right, y'all. So I think that's it. Okay. I think that's about it. That's all we got to talk about this week. Join us next week again. Same day, same time, 7:30. What am I talking about? Every Tuesday.
They don't meet us at 7:30.
They really don't. It's the time I'll be at work. Anyway, Join us next Tuesday again for another great episode.
See you guys next week. Thank you so much for tuning into another episode of The Face Off with Fleming and Fowler. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms, including Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at The Face Off Pod. Be sure to tune in to The Face Off with Fleming and Fowler every Tuesday when new episodes are released.